wants to be happy can be happy just by accepting oneself, thinking about happiness. I can't sing, but I'm trying. So I want to talk about happiness. What is happiness? Is happiness something that comes from one own thoughts, being by oneself, embracing one's personality, life, or does it comes from outside influences? What makes you happy? Is it being in a relationship that causes you to be happy? Is it having a nice car? But remember, a nice car is subjective. A nice house is subjective. And it's the same with happiness. Therefore, I concur, or I think happiness does not necessarily mean that you have all these material acquisition before you can be happy. Happiness, in my opinion and from my personal experience, comes from within. It comes from your thought process. It also comes from your view. Well, thought process has to do with your view of life and what you want for yourself and what will make you comfortable. So, if you have $1, you might be unhappy because you're saying, okay, this dollar cannot provide all that I need to be happy. But sometimes the things that we think we need to be happy aren't things that we need. They are just things that we want. Sometimes we have excess things in our lives that we waste money to buy. And when we realize we waste all this money to buy this and that we're not using, for example, shoes, clothes, handbags, you name it, watches, jewelry, anything, we realize that, hey, I have all these things and I'm still not happy. So in essence, you waste your money, and when you waste your money that you could use to do something more meaningful, like feeding the homeless, doing something that is beneficial to society, that can actually help somebody to live a decent life, a much decent life than what they're living, you realize that all these material acquisition did not bring happiness after all. Well, from my perspective and from my experience, I've seen it happen, and I've experienced it myself. I realize that as a human being, I'm more concerned with doing good than actually living selfishly, like living for myself while I see my brother and sister hungry or in need, and when I say need, not want, in need of things that, you know, that are essential for life. You know, if I see my brother or sister, someone in need of things that are essential for life, and I have abundance of unnecessary things, I will not feel happy. Because it's just in my nature to want to help others, and it's just in my nature to see somebody feeling happy that, oh my God, I'm saved from hunger. I'm hungry and somebody just came and gave me like $20 and now I can go buy food and I am saved. It is a good feeling to save somebody from hunger. It is a good feeling to help somebody get back on their feet, especially if the person is grateful. Especially if the person is grateful. And I have to emphasize that, especially if someone is very grateful for what you have done for them, or for him or her, whatever. Because from my past experience or experiences, I realized that when I make sacrifices, or when I made sacrifices for people and they're not appreciative of it, I wonder if I am not someone of good judgment. Meaning that, why did I help somebody who is ungrateful or who is not in need? But I'm more concerned about people who are not helping people who are not in need than people who are ungrateful. Because if I see somebody who is in need and I help that person is ungrateful, I might not feel bad, because in my mind perhaps that person is going through something psychological, mental problem, so I will pardon that person. But when I get tricked, like if somebody should come to me and trick me and say I am in need, I am in need, and I help that person, to me I am being scam I have been scammed. And I don't like anybody to try and scam me, or and you know when you're being scammed, is like, it makes you wonder if you're somebody who can judge character or judge people correctly. So I have experienced that in the past, and that kind of made me more doubtful of humans. Even when I see somebody that look um, as if they're like very well or very much in need, I always question. I always say to myself, you know what? I wonder if this person really need, or this person is just an actor putting on a show. You know, because of my past experience, I have to question people motives, and what they're about, because I don't want to be taken for a fool or taken for granted, because I am a person who has a, I wouldn't say soft nature, but a compassionate nature. So yes, happiness brings helping people brings happiness to me and joy, but at the same time we have to protect ourselves so that we don't go down a road or a path that gets us depressed when we make mistake judging people's character and thinking that we're doing good, when in fact we're not really doing good. We're actually creating more problems. You understand? So sometimes we can have this idea that, oh, I'm gonna feel happy by doing this and doing that, but we're creating problems by not thinking or not making the right decision when we're pursuing happiness. So overall, I do believe that each individual is responsible for his or her happiness. I don't believe that if you're single and you don't have a companion, that means you should be unhappy. And I don't believe that someone should rely on their companion for happiness, because we all can create our own happiness. It's okay if we're alone. It's okay if we're enjoying our own company. It's okay if we walk by the river and basically go enjoy our own company, look in the skies and see the birds, and look at nature, look at flower by yourself. It's okay. We don't have to have an individual or a companion all the time for us to feel happy, because self-love creates happiness, and appreciating being by yourself with our God or with our Creator in silence sometimes is the best thing that is meaningful to us spiritually. Help us to grow spiritually. Spiritual growth creates lots of happiness, but some of us will never know that because we don't seek after spiritual growth. We seek after party, clubbing, socializing with people, but we don't seek to find ourselves by being a zone where we can just hear the quietness of God through relaxation, through a personal reflection, right? Just sit down and reflect on our lives. Imagine where we want to go. Speak on it, embrace it, and work toward it. That's the time we need most in our lives to create happiness. It's just this quiet moment where we find peace, where we are level-headed, where we have no distractions. We don't have people influencing our thoughts or influencing our decision. When we just sit and just think about it, talk to God. God, I need to get this done. God, this is where I want to go. Do you approve of where I'm going, my journey in life? You will hear that small voice within you, you know. You're going to hear that small whisper that said, no, don't go there. Or you're going to hear that small whisper that said, yep, you're making the right move. We can create our own happiness. That's all this little video is saying. Creating our own happiness. I am creating my own happiness by basically talking to myself right now. I'm not ashamed to talk to myself. Yes, I'm talking to myself because I need this. I need to talk to myself to motivate my own self and to create my own happiness. And with this being said, bye-bye. Have a great morning, afternoon, and evening. Be blessed, everyone. Bye-bye.